Many of today's leading companies, we believe that we can make our community investment go further by contributing more than financial donations. Volunteering is at the heart of our strategy to address issues that affect countries across our footprint in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Since 2008, we have invested over US $130 million in communities, and our staff have volunteered across hundreds of thousands of hours to support communities and projects of their choice. In 2010, we decided to step up our volunteering program and offered each member of staff 3 days of paid leave for volunteering as part of our Wider Here for Good campaign and brand promise. Volunteering is one of the best ways that individuals can demonstrate they're truly here for good. And I'm delighted to report that our employees responded by volunteering more than 392,000 hours, equivalent of almost 50,000 days, up over 300% on 2009. So what do we do? To increase our numbers in 2010 was a result of a very deliberate strategy. Firstly, we appointed champions for each market. Secondly, we launched an internal tool online called I Volunteer to let staff connect directly with local volunteering opportunities and share their stories. We also set targets for individuals for the first time in terms of the country targets that we hoped they would be able to achieve. And we rewarded and recognized those who provided significant volunteering efforts. Offering our staff time off for volunteering is a great incentive, but that's not enough in itself. To truly succeed, you need to do three things. First of all, the support and sponsorship of employing volunteering needs to come from the very top of the organization. Secondly, you have to make it easy. You have to have the right infrastructure in place so that people can volunteer. And third is you need a culture that encourages volunteering and showcases success stories. Making an employee volunteering program is a significant commitment. In many markets, the practice is still in its infancy, and attitudes vary widely from country to country. Organizations need to allow for this when designing global programs. Extending skills-based volunteering is another area which careful balance has to be struck. Volunteering is particularly effective when staff share their specialized knowledge and experience with communities. But organizations can be too prescriptive. When it comes to how or for whom staff should volunteer, volunteering must be kept volunteer. We make the most difference when staff connect with issues that matter most to them. We know, and I've seen it for myself many times, the difference that our employees make when they volunteer. And it's not just the communities that benefit. Our research shows that staff who volunteer are more engaged and likely to stay with us longer. And of course, staff who are more engaged deliver higher levels of service and are more productive. If you get someone to volunteer once, you stand a good chance of making it a lifelong habit. People rarely fail to be moved by the experience, and I include myself in that. One's daily work becomes more meaningful because volunteering demonstrates that a business can be more than about profit. It can be a force for good. In a recent global survey of our staff, 74% said volunteering improved their job satisfaction. Today's employees, particularly Generation Y, care more than just about pay and benefits. They want to work for organizations that put effort into developing people and communities and who create sustainable value for shareholders. Given that more than 70% of our given that more than 70% of our employee base is under 35, this is particularly important for our bank. In surveys we conducted globally, over 80% of our staff said they would prefer to work for a company that supports employee volunteering. A huge statistic. So in conclusion, employee volunteering has come of age. The emergence of corporate volunteering as a dynamic global resource is echoed strongly in the Global Research Project, which will be presented this morning by the IAVE and the Global Volunteering Council, Corporate Volunteering Council. The findings are very significant. They will help make a compelling case for business that are not yet on board and guide those which already are. The reality is we're only just starting to see what employee volunteering can do. And it's not just communities that reap rewards. When we get it right, employee volunteering is good for communities, it's good for people, and it's good for business. Thank you very much for listening.